Hi everyone, thought it was about time I did another video on a black and white TV. It's been a while since I've put anything up on YouTube, just due to being busy with work and kids and all that sort of thing. One seems to have less time these days, but it's a long weekend this weekend, so 3-day weekend, so I decided I would do a video on another TV I recently picked up. What you're looking at here is a 19-inch Philips black and white TV. The model number, if we want to be all exact and correct, is a Z19T532. I've actually got several of these TVs. I've got, this must be probably about the third or fourth one I've actually got that looks identical to this, exactly the same model. I've got an absolute immaculate mint condition one in my display room, which I've never actually even tried. So, but the reason why I thought I'd have a go at firing this thing up and seeing if it works is that, as you all know from my previous video uploaded today, the analog TV in Wellington now no longer exists. And of course, every single department store like Harvey Norman's and Bond and Bond are all, offering the TV take back. Basically, though, if you bring your set in, they'll give you a discount on a new set-top box and a new TV. So I actually work for one of those outfits, and I'm allowed to go and look at their piles and piles and piles of TVs, all waiting to go to the recycling stations. And the other day I happened to be in there, and hello, there was this TV sitting there. There's also this one here too that's sitting on top of. This is another set for another video. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's something a bit interesting and a bit special, so that can wait. At the moment it's going to be used as a table, just for working on this TV. So yeah, so I decided, well, tonight I thought, well, okay, I'll have a look at it and pull the back off and see if I can actually get it to go. Do a first time power up and see, just try and see what's wrong with it and see if it will actually go. It's not as tidy as my other ones that I've got, which I'm not to be honest, if it's too far gone, or it's got a faulty picture tube, or it's got a faulty line up transformer, it doesn't really matter actually. So I've got heaps of these for spare parts, so I'm not really too fussed if this thing goes or doesn't. But thought it would be fun just to sort of see if I can get it going just for the sheer hell of it. So I've now got a tripod to make things a bit easier for doing videos, bits and pieces. Oh yeah, by the way, this thing here is giving me a bit of grief. It's got some contrast, it's got some contrast issue. It's got something wrong with the low frequency response of the video section. Whenever there's words or anything, whenever there's white pegs or words on the screen, anything bright white, you get all these black noise bars or bands that go across the screen. I've gone right over the circuit, and the fault was there when I got it going. The fault was already there, so I don't think I've introduced it, but it's got some weird video problems. So yeah, I'm still waiting to. I'm just getting back to this one. I'm just going to leave it for now, and I'll just. So actually, this thing here has been probably sitting on the bench probably about the past 2 or 3 months like this, just while I've been going through other bits and pieces of personal stuff. So yeah, no, we'll just leave it till another time. But yeah, so right, just a quick look at this thing. I think the top's a bit grotty. It's obviously seeing better days. Obviously it's all covered in dust and shit. Obviously when I just sort of saw it, picked it up, right, I'll grab this and I'll grab that. So I grabbed them both together and haven't really had much time to do anything else with it. Hang on. No, it's not going to work, so you end up tipping the damn thing over. Yeah, so you've got your channel change down there, channel clunker, and you've got, I think that one's volume. It's on off volume, brightness and contrast. It's where the antenna was. Typical. Most of them get ripped out, and that's fairly typical for these sets. This was obviously aimed to be a portable set. You know, so probably one of the chassis itself is called the F2ZN. Any New Zealanders watching this, in New Zealand, old TV techs watching this video would know what an F2ZN chassis is. It's a complete circuit board, one complete circuit board, and it's got P-series valves, so the filament is all series strung, and you know, we're dropping this is a typical European designed Philips TV. I think this actual design was taken from a Swedish or a Scandinavian design, and then we just copied it and made our own versions of the Scandinavian design chassis. They came in several variants. The F2 was used in a lot of different sizes and like screen size. I think there was a I think I've got a 17. I think 19. There's 22s, 23s. I think 25s. There's quite a versatile chassis used across a lot of the Philips range, Philips TV sets in the mid to late 1960s, and I'm pretty certain they did actually make this. They did actually use the F2 chassis. I think up until the early 1970s. I think so. Yeah, it definitely hung around for a few years. So yeah, so this is side of it anyway, so there we go, it's pretty much what it is. Okay, what I'll do is I will swing it around and take the back off. So I'll do that now. And here we have it swung around. So what have we got here? We have Philips Z19T532, 230 volt, 180 watts. And if we go, it's the good old particle board sort of back on it. And we have the vertical height, hold and linearity. Just basically punched holes in the back cabinet. You just trim pots. You just little trim pots, and you stick your Phillips screwdriver in there and merely adjust away. So yeah. Okay, I'll just grab a screwdriver from somewhere and we'll take the back off. And I said I've owned several of these TVs over the years, or the several models running this chassis, so I'm very familiar with it. The biggest problem with these is the line output transformer failure was quite high. They tended to have not a very long life. The transformers, you know, I recall some old retired TV techs telling me that, you know, some of the flybacks would fail after about a couple of months. So I wouldn't be surprised if actually this one's had a replacement, or that's actually what's killed it. It wouldn't surprise me at all, actually. Oh, by the way, a shout out to Gordon Baker, if you're watching this. You seem to enjoy my videos on YouTube, so there you go, Gordon. I've got another one up here for you to watch now. So, and no doubt, Gordon, you'll be all too familiar with these TVs. And hope to get to the next radio meeting too, Gordon, if I can. So hopefully we'll catch up with you then. Okay, it's not too bad actually. It's not lovely pale puke green sort of circuit board. Oh yeah, bloody dry joints all over the place. It's typical for these things. Yes. It's been a wee while since I've actually poked around in one of these. So yeah, might as well drag this a wee bit close so you can actually have a look and see. It's some good old circuit boards. good old Phillips style. This is circuit board, dry joints, traces lifting. But actually, this one's actually not too bad. Actually, generally you find up here, because where the dropping resistors are, all the bloody, you've got your audio valves here, and your video amplified tube. I think that's detector and AGC, and that might be the final that might be the audio output of generally the track's always lifting. But actually it's not actually not too bad. It's not as discoloured as some I've seen. Use dry joints on the PY88, that's typical, and the damper tube, the line output one is the same. So yeah, so usual amount of dust in there as well, which is typical for these things. So I'll grab my brush and give it a bit of a dust. Not too shabby at all. Oh, geez. It's probably 45 years of dust I've probably disturbed there. So alright, let's pull this back a wee bit. I'm hoping the video's not having hopefully we're not having too much of a, just trying to get the I've got the backlight compensation on it. I don't know how it's, yes, one of these days I'll upgrade this camera, but unfortunately at the moment I can't really justify doing that. So okay, and what these things have on the top, they have little wee lugs or little wee locking pins that they have in there. So little wee locking pins there, obviously to hold the chassis in place. The chassis actually hinges down. So the other one's in there. Alright, two chassis locking pins out, two posts. What horrors await us in here? Okay, I suppose I've got a little camera out, I suppose. That's actually not bad. That doesn't look too bad actually. Bad as some I've seen. Yeah, typical. These support straps always break on these things. It's not surprised actually that they're hanging off like that. Yeah, this doesn't look too bad actually. It's actually pretty clean under here. Some of these, I've had some of these have been pretty, some of these have been pretty awful. I've had in the past. But, this one's actually not too bad at all, really. It looks fairly clean. Mind you, that's not to say that there is anything wrong, but yeah. Just turn that backlight compensation off because it kind of looked like it was actually having a few sort of whiteout bits. It's probably not enough now. The camera's probably now trying to compensate for something that's not actually working. But yeah, so what we've got, the flybacks over here, EHT rectifier, DY87, PL5L4 line output, PY88 damper, PCF802 horizontal oscillator, PCH100, I'm pretty certain that's part, I think that might be sync separator, I think, or sync. PC PC F201 first IF and second video IF. There's PCF 200s, third video IF and noise inverter, PCL84 video amp and AGC. Yep, sorry about that. I wasn't looking at the camera, sorry about that guys. I actually might just disconnect this from my tripod because it's becoming a bit of a pain. Sorry about this. So I think we're pretty much on the fly tonight, so yeah, so we've got so your frame output, we've got line output, damper, horizontal oscillator, sync separator. We've got first and second video PCF 201, PCF 201, first video and second video IF, PCF 200, third video and noise inverter, PCL84, video and amp and AGC, PCL86, it's audio amp output in the first IF, and PL84 second audio IF and output. And the tuner, we have a PC900 RF amp and PCF81 is the oscillator and mixer. So typical Philips turret tuner in there. Nothing too fancy. But it actually looks pretty clean. Actually, it really does. Not as bad as some I've seen. I might have to prop that up because it actually, what happens is the board comes down and touches on the metal, so I've just got a little wedge or something to put under there. It's still got its plug on it. Most of the time I chop the plugs off, but I got lucky this time. Let's see, the fuses are okay, I think. Yeah, I think that one might. That one might be blown. I don't know. It doesn't look too bad. Yeah. Oh, I reckon we should plug this thing in and see what it does. I'm not even going to bother variating it. I'm just going to give it straight mains and just see what happens. Yeah. Right. I will put the camera down, go find a power cord, and hold this up, and we will plug in and see what smokes. Back in a sec. Okay, I've got it plugged into the mains, and I've put a piece of wood underneath to stop the actual chassis shorting on the metal frame. Yeah, just before I go any further, unless you're experienced in doing this sort of thing, I wouldn't recommend you just plug something like straight into the mains. Basically, I always maintain safety first when working on vintage equipment like this. That power cord is plugged into an RCD, so yeah, unless you're experienced and know what you're doing with old TVs, I wouldn't recommend you just go plugging old sets like this in. Just yeah, always treat with caution. One thing I'm a bit wary of is these horrible mains filter capacitors tend to like going bang, so that's one thing I'll be checking. If it gets warm, I'll be basically cutting it out, because you'll end up bloody spewing tar all over the place. I remember I had one go on me and it made a hell of a mess, and boy did it stink the room out. So yeah, but oh well. Okay, here we go. So I'm about to pull the power switch for the first time, and we'll see what happens. Oh, it's a promising start. Let's turn that away. Put that out of the way as well. All the valves appear to be lighting, which they are doing. We have audio. Ah! Hello, we have good old frame collapse. Turn that right down to prevent any screen burn. Ew. That's probably what made them get rid of it, I dare say. Alright, I will... You know, it's funny, I had a feeling, just had a funny feeling that it might actually have a frame problem. Don't know why, just my gut feeling. Thought to myself, must have been it'll come up okay with EHT and everything, but it'll have a frame fault. And I was bang on the money. Alright, I'll turn that off. I think I will... Now, it could even be a case of dry joints as well, which is actually entirely possible. It's not too bad around there, you can't really see. There's one or two there. Looks a bit... And you find the joints in these is actually, even though they look pretty crystalline, they can actually hang on. Oh, at least the flyback's okay. At least the yes, that's all right. There's a nice, strong, bright line across the screen, so probably there's no doubt the picture tube's probably okay. Well, going by how bright that was, it was really, really bright, and you know, so it probably actually looked brighter on the probably will look brighter on the camera too. All right, I think the first thing I'll do, I'll swap the vertical output valve in it. That's probably the most simplest place to start. And I'll also grab my mirror too, so I'm not having to peer around the. Oh no, I'll just. No, what I'll do, I'll just chuck another valve in it and see what happens. I'm really lucky. Got a box of valves here, so PCL85 jump into my hand. ECL85. ECL85. Big box of it. Oh, I don't reckon my hands on one. Oh, no, hang on, is this good? These are, by the way, these are all just a great big box of tubes which I've collected over the years. Some are tested, some aren't. ECL85. ECL85. Hang on, let's move that out of the way. And because I want to find one, I'll find everything but what I want. ECL85. PCL86. Come on, you swine. PCL82. Oh dear. Murphy's Law. What's that? No. PCL82. Oh, that was no good, is it? The bloody tip's bloody broken off it. Ah, here we are. 18GV8, PCL85. Right. Pull that out. It's a crusty, what is it? It's a Trigon. So, I've got a sneaking suspicion this actually won't fix it. Make sure the yoke wires haven't come adrift either. That's not a problem. These things have had the yoke. Notice the yoke wires are all hooked up, which they are. It's funny because I didn't actually hear the transformer. Didn't hear the front ample transformer give that distinctive buzz. So I'll try it again. See what happens. I've got a funny feeling that it'll probably be the same, but I could be wrong. Been proved wrong before today. No, I thought my gut was right. There's something else not quite right there. Oh, what's the kind of wants to jump around, but it's yeah, it's got really dirty valve sockets. I just bumped the horizontal oscillator valve and the thing just about had bloody hemorrhage. It's got a bit of VHT leaky too. I can smell it. It bloody stinks. So I wonder what's going on here. I wonder why we've got no bloody frame. One thing I will do though, we'll turn the boost voltage down. It's probably been maxed right out. Boost voltage is, yeah, determines how much drive goes to the lockdown, and a lot of cases actually the boost voltage turn all the way up, that's why you end up bloody killing the line output transformer. So pretty certain that's it there. Is that there? Oh. Yeah, this is it here. This is the boost voltage control, so just turn that down. So reduce the EHT a bit, stop giving the poor old line output transformer a hard life, because God knows when this thing was last turned on. I'd say they probably powdered it briefly to try it and all that stuff. So we'll take it down the old recycling station, get rid of it, and buy a new TV and trade this in on a new bloody flat panel 42-inch crappy bloody plasma or something. Okay. I might have to do a bit more investigation. Nothing up here, is it? Nothing up here, is it? No. I'm going to tap that valve though. He makes it bounce around a bit, so that's interesting. But that's the second frame output valve I've put in there now, so it won't be that. I doubt it'll be these controls. I've never struck one of these with crook controls yet, actually. No, I didn't think so. I'll try these one over here. No, I didn't think so. And the last one over there. No, I didn't think it'd be crook controls. Okay, it might be time to look at the circuit and measure a few voltages as well. I might just go over that. Nothing. No amount of thumping around is gonna, I think, bring the frame back. I might have to do a bit more investigation, I think. Well, I'll power down and see what is not there, voltage wise.